I'm looking for a way to earn extra income. How can trading help me?
Well, see, first thing we need to understand stock market is something which has a lot of potential. Similarly, it also has a lot of drawbacks. So, only thing is, in last 500 years in the stock market history, so what we understood is stock market has went through a lot of crisis, lot of ups and downs, and people who has learned the way they're supposed to get the stock market, they are the one who are able to get that extra incomes. How? Because we have a lot of proven strategies which is in place. If you have a practice, if you do it in the right way, you will earn the profit on a consistent way. So learning is the key right here.
I'm a complete beginner. Will this webinar help me?
Absolutely. See, the webinar, what we cover is we cover the whole thing. So meaning to say, all the difficult concepts what we have in the stock market world, we'll jot it down in a basics way, so that even the people who just started to learn or who already in the process of learning or who already knows little bit, everybody can understand these things. And the way we set up our strategies or the curriculums, which is very easy to for anybody to understand. So we have a students start from at the age of like 17, and we have a student at the age of 72 also. So everybody were able to understand, they were able to get it, what we are trying to say. That is the power of our curriculum. So that's why we built our students in such a way, everybody will understand the concept, what we teach. So that they will be like getting the concept in a way they wanted in them. So they make that consistent effort to get the consistent profit.
There are so many trading academies. Why should I choose yours?
Good question. See, when I say my institute is the best institute, how? Because I know I can give the best curriculum. That's one. I'll just give an example now. So when you just walk into the streets, maybe you can take a famous streets like MG Road or something in Bangalore. You see like 10 different dwellers. Why do they keep all dwellers in the same lane? So that customers or anybody can just get in, they can just see the material and see the cost, they can see the quality, all of this. So they'll go with one only, right? Any which ways. But none of the other people also not lesser than that in any which ways in terms of the quality. But how this one particular thing where they are buying it, which is standing out of this 9 or 10, it's because their necessity and their needs. That is why when people approach us, we satisfy their needs. So when you coming as a student, yes, 20 years old, you're just coming with me. Okay, just I wanted to learn. I will understand what is your need. I design the things as per your needs. I design the strategy as per yours. So what will happen to you? You will say like, okay, what I wanted, I'm getting it here. So that's when you will spread the word of mouth, the word about the marketing strategy. That's when people say, okay, this is the best institute. Okay, I can refer this one. I can tell to the other 10 people. You can tell to your hundreds of your family members. Why? Because you got what you're supposed to get it. That is why our institute, like, because see, additionally, we also teach you not just with the course contents. We also teach you the risk management, which is very much essential. We also teach you the financial management. At this age, you need to start your savings, investing. That's when at the age of like 30, 40, you can retire literally, having like crores together in your account. So these are the things which we cover, wherein like nobody else can come very close to us also. That is why you can choose our institute. That's how we are different from others.
Can you share some successful stories of your students?
Yeah, see, successful story comes with satisfaction. So when I say somebody is satisfied, only when I call it as a success for me. So when we train more than like 3,000 to 4,000 students so far, we have very good ratings in our Google also. Why? Because the curriculums or the concept which we teach to the people, it is matching to their level of expertise. Example, say you are a student, say you are just 20. Okay, so your level of understanding about stock market is completely different. If you ask somebody else who is at 30 years, who is already into a little bit of stock market, their way of understanding stock market is completely different. So we designed the complete the curriculum in such a way, it will help you also, it will help that person as well. So that is why, so when we teach people, they'll go successful. That is when we say they trade with confidence. When they trade with confidence, so obviously you can make good profit, you can spread this success story with others. Then, so when I say success, why am I saying it is because out of these students, we got 4.9 rating in Google so far out of 5. So compared to any other institute in Bangalore, or even if you consider South India, or even take Pan India, we are the top in terms of customer student satisfaction. That is where we are striving towards. That is where we are successful. That you can see literally with your naked eyes in your Google reviews. And lot of times, customer themselves, student themselves, they just take up the screenshots. They'll share it with the trainers. Trainers continuously interact with the students. They will understand their issues in person. Why? Because we need that personal connect. We focus on those lines. That is why we are more successful in this particular field.
I'm afraid about investing. What are the risks involved?
Okay, so first thing we need to understand the very important thing. None of the business or none of the investments are risk free in this world. And every business carries their own risk levels. And even stock market, nothing like never like it is like easy to just handle in that way. So what we need to do is we teach in such a way. So we first thing will take up as the risk management. When somebody approaches us, so I think I've already answered this question before in the before questions prior one. So investment is all about risk and the rewards. When do you get a reward? When is the risk? When you don't know something, if you do it, that's when it's a risk. If you learn something, then you experiment, then you start doing it. That's a reward. So here, when I say if you're afraid about it or it's a risk-free or whatsoever, we teach this as a main focus. What we do is the risk management and the financial management. Why do we cover it? Just to minimize your losses and maximize your profits. None of the business in the entire world, it works only with the profits. Stock market ultimately opposite the other way around it is. Why? It also involves losses. But how do you minimize the losses? It's what we're going to teach you. So in that way, you don't have to be worried about your risk here. All you need to worry about here, how do you learn the things in a better way and a faster pace? That you need to understand.
How do I know if trading is right for me?
Well, see, nobody can say that like, see, this particular thing is for me. This is your own interest. If you think about becoming a doctor, from the beginning you will start becoming a doctor. So you think about that. You will put your shoes in that level. You work towards it. So that is your passion. You need to have that interest first. You need to have an interest on particular thing. That's when it will fit into your passion thing, right? So this is exactly how it works for everybody. When you come for a trading, so there will be an interest in you. Maybe you would have got an influence from other people. Could be, right? So how? Because maybe people would have told trading is something like, okay, you can earn money, you can make big money, you can become wealthy very soon. It is all absolutely true. But only thing is, do you have the dedication to learn? Do you have that interest to learn? Some of the females, especially what I have seen, like they don't show so much of interest on trading because they always have the mindset that trading is like a gambling. But if you ask me, trading is a pure business. If you take it as a business, it's a business. If you consider it as a gambling, it's a gambling. Why it is a gambling? We don't learn the things in a right way. We don't learn the things in a structured way. If we don't know what is the risk management, what is the financial management, that is when it will become a gambling for you. If you know all these things, not just you, entire your family can learn, earn, and make that wealthy in a short term. It is completely depend on your time also and the way you take it up. So that is why, so it is your passion. You need to convert your passion into a profession that's left to their individual interest. That's how it works.
How long does it take to see the results?
Okay, difficult question. Okay, but see, before I answer these questions, I'll ask you a question. How long will it take for you to become a doctor?
As long as I study and come to that.
No, what is the duration, course durations?
Maybe 5 years.
What is the duration for an MBA? Okay, so why am I telling this is, it's completely depends on your personal interest. Stock market, if you wanted to study in a structured way, it completely depends on your time and effort and your dedication. We do not have a defined term. We do not have a defined timeline. See, if you take an example of me, when I started in 2007, my stock market journey, I took 3 years to learn. But nowadays, the kind of resources available right now, you can learn everything in single month also. But only thing is, see, even after 5 years of doctors theory classes, maybe from the degree perspective, after that he'll get into a clinic or small hospitals. He will charge only 200 rupees for the consultation. That's how he'll start his journey slowly. After a year, maybe 10 years, 10, 20 years, 15 years, whatsoever, that's when he'll become a specialist or expert in that particular field. It just takes all the way, that's 20 years. It's why? Because his passion is there, his profession is that. If you take up stock market as a profession, it will take time, but only thing is, it completely depends on, so what is the success that you wanted to get it, what is the pace you wanted to go in. If you want to go slow, you can go slow and slow study it. If you wanted to go really aggressive, you can do it maybe in 6 months or 1 year also. And the course which we provide, typically for 200 days, up to 200 days. Why did we keep 200 days? If you take other institute outside, none of the institutes are giving the course for 200 days. So you may ask the question next, why it is 200 for you? Is it like you are dragging too much there? Because the study says anything for you to learn, you need at least so much of space, so much of time is required. So when it comes to stock market, if you ask me personally, or the experts who was there, who sitting in a big chairs or trading in a big platforms, they also says you need at least 6 months time to learn and understand. That is why we kept 200 days. We never keep like 200 days just to impress students, just to impress the students' parents, or just to like impress anybody. We just kept it in such a way students should be happy and they should learn, they should start earn. That's the whole concept. I hope you got my answer now.
What kind of support do you offer after your course?
Okay, so I think I've already answered this little bit in your previous question, but I'll give you in brief details. What is the supports or the commitment we have towards the students? The first thing is, which I already told, the 200 days of support. So that's the first and the foremost one. So in that 200 days, what are the things we cover? It is like 4 weeks, complete 4 weeks of theory. The theory happens in such a way. So we built a theory, and very next day, which means Saturday and Sunday will be a theory classes. And Monday to Friday, whatever we taught you on Saturday and Sunday in the theory class, we'll put that into practice on Monday to Fridays during the live market hours with trainer interface. So what is the benefit here? What is the benefits you think can be here? So benefits are, the people or the student will not forget the theory. That's the base things. So because when we teach people, they shouldn't forget the things. How will they learn and have the dedication, the commitments towards their learning is when they don't forget the things. How do you make it? Because we give the live support. When I make them go with the live trades, whatever you learned here, put that in practice for next 5 days. So what will happen? You will never forget this particular concept. So this will happen two format. One is on the live market, win the live accounts. In the live market as a normal account, which is like a paper trading, which we typically call in the stock market world. After that, after 4 weeks of the complete training, then every day from then till the 200 day, you will have the complete support sitting inside the office. So what will happen? So your trainer will be available very next to you. You will start trading in a bigger quantity. During these 4 weeks, you will have the smaller quantity. Later, you will have a slightly bigger quantity. So what will happen is, they actually understand what is the trade. So when they start making that small profit, they will understand this is how the trade works. That's a first USP what we have. The second thing is, even somebody cannot make it to office, we still have online support. And typically online and offline, outside world, the understanding about online and offline is completely different, because they just have online separate and offline separate. What we do is, we do both together in one single platform. What's the benefit? If you ask me, the benefit is, see, there's a people, 20 people on the online platform, 20 people sitting on the class. All the 40 people can listen to one particular class only. And the person who's sitting in online can also ask questions. They'll be not like muted. Like a typical online class, they'll mute your video, they'll mute your, you cannot talk, you cannot conversate, interact. This is a purely 100% interactive session. This online people can ask questions, somebody from the offline can answer it. If somebody from the offline can ask the questions to the trainer, if the trainer answers, it's for all 40 people. So even if you're like taken up online classes, someday if you feel that I can go to office, you're welcome to have an offline class. Similarly, if you're opted for offline, sometime you are, due to some your job responsibility, you're not able to make it up, you can still join online. It is like you don't have to miss it, you won't be missing it. So it is a continuous process. We are giving that feasibility to the students to attend the classes in any platforms, anywhere, anytime, even during the travels, they can still attend. They don't have to miss it. They will not miss it typically. We don't want them to miss it. Why? Because our curriculum is set in such a way, if they miss it little bit, it's a miss for me. If my student is a fail, it's fail me. I am like literally fail. So that is why we make sure that our student attends all the classes. They make sure that they learn and understand the concept. So this is the second one. Third one. So when we find a student, somebody who's not in a position to understand in the first instance, or somebody is like really old age. We have seen there's a lady who coming at 72. But then we take up specific classes. We give that little extra preferences. We say, okay, so they themselves ask us, so can we get a little more extra benefit? So we do that. Typically we say like, okay, you just come, we'll help you out. After our market hours, we just spend that 1 to 2 hours addition time to support them. So though we have enough people, so we are not ignoring even that one. One matters for us. That is the biggest USP for us right now. So that one is the focus. So we are not ignoring anybody here. Everybody is a student. Everybody has to learn in that same way. That's the third thing. The fourth thing, even after 200 days, we still give the support. You can still walk into the office. You can still call up our trainer. You can still call up your mentor to get the support. Good. Fifth one, we have one group session with me. I take up the group session with the entire set of training people, end of the course, just to understand if everything is fine, and if they lack something, we give the additional benefits of coaching that particular concept. So why this is very important is when somebody is stepping out of the stepping out of your office after our courses, they should go with a smiling face, as in like successfully I've completed, I've learned something, I paid so much, in return I got double than that, or at least equal to that. Nobody should feel that I spent unnecessarily, or I spent like I shouldn't have done it. Not in that way. So that is, we make double sure that okay, they're going in this way, let's get in. So we have a regular feedback sessions. We have online feedback forms. There's a lot of things happens. So this is how we take up the feedback from the students. That is why we are very much successful with all these USPs. That is why we are at the top of the ratings in Google rating also, because people feels that they are included in the team. Nobody feels that we are like excluded, we are not being like attended. So everybody feels that. That is why we offer all these benefits at this small cost. Hope you got my answer.
I'm convinced. How can I get started?
Fantastic. Okay, I'm delighted to hear that. Just click on the below link which is given, and register for our webinar, which is like just 1 hour, and that 1 hour will worthwhile. And tell you why? Because that 1 hour will change your life. That I can bet you. Why? Because that 1 hour will give you the insight about what is stock market. I'll give you from basics till advanced level, whatever we covered. What is that? People might ask, what is that in for me? Everything is there for you. Just click and book your spot. Let's work together, get your financial freedom, achieve your financial goals, and then slowly grow your wealth over the time.